Today we're hanging out at the Somerset Fishing Expo in New Jersey. Back with Daiwa again, and Chris.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Seems like it was just the other day.
It was just the other day, and we were speaking tackle.
Yes, we were.
Fishing rods and reels. What about terminal tackle? What do you got for me?
Well, we have a lot of new stuff, continuing what we were talking about before with our innovation and our new stuff. Suddenly it kind of seems like Daiwa all of a sudden is sort of everywhere you look, not just in rods and reels. Kind of started off with the SP minnows. You're familiar with the SP minnows. The 15 centimeter, which I think arguably has probably put more bass on the beach than just about any plug over the last 5 years. It's been very, very successful. So we followed up with the 13 centimeter size, still the weight transfer system. Very, very successful in the backwaters. Been really good. They don't have the weight transfer. This is just a sample key ring. This one does have it, but they work the exact same way with the weight transfer. Swim real well. Where you're looking for that lower profile, I mean, it's just been smaller profile. It's been a really good. The people kept saying two things. Number one, can you please make it bigger? And number two, can you please upgrade the terminal tackle on this? And so we listened. And we've come out with the new SP17. This is the 17 centimeter, and you can see right away that the hooks and the split ring are way up to speed. Even the hook hangers themselves have been overbuilt. It still has weight transfer. The balls are a little bit bigger. The floating is 1 5/8, the sinking is 1 7/8. Okay. So with that weight transfer system, this thing's going to cast like a bullet. In our testing, we've been a little bit knocked out by it. You know, I mean, something that light that goes that far. It's just the aerodynamics of it have been great. Swims very much like the 15. So it's going to be great this spring. Most of our dealers have it. They've been really anticipating it. So.
And also, with the weight transfer, so people know, there's basically BBs, let's say, in here. Yes. Now, when you cast, these BBs are going to shoot from here to here and make that lure go further. So they're transferring that weight to push it, and, you know, basically like a projectile kind of in a way.
Exactly right, exactly right.
And it flies. And then now, when that lure lands in the water, those BBs are going to fall forward, and then you're going to swim in motion.
And I mean, I don't know if you've played baseball, but when somebody would throw a knuckleball and you would watch that ball kind of do this, that's what this thing looks like. A really good weight transfer lure in the air stays completely straight, but you see it just because it's just finding the least resistance through the air. And you watch this thing cast, and it's amazing. And while I love the way they swim, I halfway believe that one of the reasons we catch more fish is because we're statistically in the water longer. Okay. Because you're casting it further. I think sometimes it just is a matter of numbers. But, you know, one of the things, this is a purely sort of a Daiwa USA Northeast type of a lure, but we also are well known across the world for our pelagic fishing. And so this year we brought to America the brand new SK jig. This is going to come from a 60-gram size all the way to a 300-gram size. This is brand new. These are one of 10 that are on the East Coast right now. But we're going to have it in all those different sizes. The most expensive, I believe, is $20, and the little 60s and 80s, I want to say, are $14. Still haven't gotten final pricing. But you can fish this lure from the top or from the bottom. It's got ways to fish it either way, and it does specific things. It's just like any other falling jig, except the way this is weighted and the way this swims is particularly provocative and has been very successul overseas. So we're looking at having these real soon here, you know, on the East Coast. Some great colors too.
Yeah, they look great.
You know, you do a pretty good amount of jigging, right?
Absolutely,
probably more than I do. You know, and it's just it's some great looking stuff.
You're going to fish those basically to pop it real quick, or how would you?
A lot of it, from what I understand, a lot of it is the less you do, the better. It's almost like the type of jig with just a straight retrieve. Although you can add action to it. Also, the fall, depending on how you rig it, can be very enticing as well. So, I mean, I'm going to be completely truthful here. Since I haven't fished it, I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly how it works. I do know the fact that, you know, you can see the Japanese, everybody likes that JDM stuff. I'm not sure what that says. I think it says, buy me. But the Japanese folks, this is a thoroughly vetted lure. It's been tested all over, you know, the far Pacific, and so I'm pretty excited for what it's going to do for us. We're going to have to go out and get some tuna on it.
I'm ready to go. It actually says on the package, falling and retrieving, so both ways you're going to catch a fish on it.
And then depending on the way that you hook it up, you know, it gets stronger either on the fall or the retrieve too. So, you know, more to come on exactly how that fishes. You know, maybe we'd get some of those on your boat, and you can do it. You know, you can do it. And then last but not least is something that's been very, very exciting for us is, you know, it's wonderful to have great rods and great reels and great lures, but what connects everything?
Line.
The fishing line. So we actually have our own Braid booth over here. It's just over yonder. Maybe we can take a walk over and we can look at that braid real quick.
All right, so now we're here with Braid.
Over here at the Braid table.
So let's talk about the line.
Okay, line, braid, has been out there for a long time. What makes it different? What makes it similar? Not really sure. It's a great topic of discussion. I will say that Daiwa came out with this line a while back. We've been very well known for our Samurai and our Saltiga Dendo boat braid, which was top line, extremely expensive, but the quality was out of the park. It was very, very thin, very strong. Our line, if it says 65 pounds, our line breaks at 66, 67, not at 80. We're very, very precise, and that makes a big difference in width. There are manufacturers out there that have 50-pound test that'll break at 90. You know, you got to wonder the thickness of that line. You're losing spool capacity when you do that. But we started off initially with the 8-strand, with the Braid 8. Braid 8-strand is a traditional 8-braid carrier. It's very, very smooth, and the weave on it's extremely tight as any of our competitors. What that makes is for a very, very smooth, supple line. It's a wonderful line to cast open beach with. As a surf caster, I love it. It makes no sound going through the guides. It's nice and round. I have very little trouble with any kind of wind knots on it.
I can see, sure.
And I also enjoy trolling it, again, because the quietness going through the guides and such. However, one of the issues that we had is that being an 8-strand carrier braid, it can be a little thicker because you have more material in there. So what we did is we came out with Braid 4, which is a typical 4-strand braid. There's a very, very popular competitor of ours out there that I think probably spools 70% of the lines out there. This is the same type of a line as that. These are both polyethylene lines, made in Japan, by the way. But we came out with the Braid 4. It's a much coarser feel. All right, it's only got 4 strands, and it's not woven quite as tightly, so it'll make that sound coming through your guides. But it's also stiffer, and more importantly, it's thinner. So if you're fishing open water, let's say you're trolling, you're going to want to go with the 4 because you're going to be able to get down a little bit easier. You don't care about the sound going through the guides. You know,
slice the water a little better.
Exactly. Also, if you're fishing for us, like let's say black fishing, this would be perfect for black fishing.
Absolutely.
You may not want supple. On the smaller side, I know we're at a saltwater show, but a lot of my freshwater guys that fish bait casters do not want a soft, supple line in 8 or 10 or 15-pound test because it's too soft. And when they're throwing those light little lures, it has a hard time getting through the level wind of the bait caster. So with the 4-strand, it's a little bit more stiff, so now we can drop down and we can do everything.
Interesting.
So, yeah, all of a sudden we've got, and the best part about this is the price tends to be between 30 to 40% less than our competitors.
Well, that's a lot.
It's a significant amount. I think there's maybe been there hasn't been enough choice out there, and now that there's this choice out there, I think you probably maybe see other manufacturers start to respond to the fact that we've got an identical line to theirs for 30% of the cost. So as of right now, the Braid 8's been out for about 2 years, and we've been killing it. We've been torture testing it, and the 4 came out in November. Hasn't gotten as much use, but what we have had so far has been outstanding. So I guess more to come on that, but go by your local retailer and grab it up because it's a great deal.
The thing with the diameter, especially like I say now with the jigging for the blackfish, you know, that's my favorite. We talked about it before. I'm going to get those lighter jigs to the bottom. You know, that 3/4 ounce is going to hit 60 feet of water, no problem. With this thinner line, and you could actually see the line thin it actually is. That's 40-pound test. My God.
We've got it in white, we've got it in metered, we've got it in the chartreuse, we've got it in island blue. So we've got pretty much something for everybody. So it's going to do the job, I think. And if you were here, we could have been spooling you up with some of it.
We're spooling right now.
We're spooling right now. And look, we don't even care if it's not on a Daiwa reel. That's all right.
Usually I kind of.
I know. He likes Daiwa.
Chris, thank you again. Always a great time talking to you.
We've got to
get on the boat. Absolutely. We'll get on the boat very soon.
That's the next step.